What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy. It looks like I've got some feedback going on. It's your boy, Kyle Milligan of copywriter.com, coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. And today we're going to talk about sales letter formats. Going to be showing you some samples and stuff like that. For whatever reason, my Facebook preview is like playing the audio back to me, so that's quite distracting. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments. You know how Facebook likes to trip me up sometimes. I don't know why it does this to me. I don't deserve this. Anyway, see if I got two mics running or something. Nope, nothing crazy. All right, cool. So what I want to talk about comes from a question. I got a couple questions about this. Basically, well, I closed my YouTube, so I don't even have my comments up. Today I am massively underprepared, you can see. But the question was basically how long, what up, Sod? The question was how long does it take to write a sales letter? And I had other questions that are very similar, or kind of have like the same answer, which are like, what is your writing process? And I think what I'd like to do is just kind of give you like a sales letter format. I don't want to call it a template, but I want to kind of give you like a basic structure for a sales letter that I see is very common, and I think will guide you along the path. And I'm going to talk about the big chunks of the sales letter. I'm not going to be talking about the weeds and the bushes. What? The weeds and the bushes? I'm talking about the forest, not the trees. If you want to get a closer, like more in the weeds look, you can check out my book at kylethewriter.com/book. My book is called Take Their Money, and it will teach you how to speak the language of copywriting, because copywriting is a professional language. And once you master that language, you immerse yourself in it using the practices I tell you about in the book, you can go on to write very successful copy. The amount of money will vary on your dedication and skill level, but I was able to gross about 7.1 million in a year at Agora Financial using these same strategies. So they're effective. Saad says he can hear me just fine. Good. I was worried about that. And he went ahead and wrote in kylethewriter.com/book. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, cool. So I think what I'll do is I'll pull up one sample really quick and we'll just walk through it, right? That seems pretty simple, huh? I know which one I want to look for too. I'll use the one that I did on my YouTube channel. It's the Palm Beach Research Group We Snuck Through promotion. I really like that promo. It's a really cool promo. Actually, you know what? That might be tough because it doesn't have like a clear-cut offer section, because they offer the book like right away, pretty early on. Again, you can see, man, I like come right off of one topic and into another and try to just start doing the thing. We'll use my promo. We'll use the $15 trillion gadget. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen here. All right, cool. I'll blow this up because I know when this goes to YouTube, like those of you watching on Facebook Live, it comes in an HD. But as soon as I move it over to YouTube, it goes into crappy SD, and you can't read anything. So let's go over the basic elements of what a promo will look like for you. Here's the big chunks. Chunk number one, the headline. Each one of these chunks kind of has like their own thing that's very important to make sure that you check the boxes, okay? We won't go over all that here. Again, that's all in the book for if you want to get down into the weeds. What I want to do now is kind of give you like an overall sales letter format with this sample here to follow along, so you can kind of see how I've done it. And also all these PDFs, like up here, most of these are inside my swipe file. And if you join my email list at kylethewriter.com/swipe, you'll get a welcome email, and there's a link. It gives you access to all of these swipe files so that you can basically practice or look at these and read them and see it yourself. So that's another free resource I offer you. But yeah, chunk number one, and someone told me I could zoom with this, but I'm pretty sure, oh, what if I just make the font enormous? Here we go, 20. Boom, can you see that better? Headline, so number one's the headline. Headline's pretty obvious, right? But I'll tell you a couple little pieces of it. So you got, this is quote, the headline, the $15 trillion gadget. And in the headline, you've got, this is called the eyebrow. This is called the deck copy. And then right here we begin the lead, okay? So part one's the headline, part two, the lead. So for the headline, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Your eyeballs will read this first. It will read this part second, right? So the first thing you'll read is $15 trillion gadget. The second thing you'll read is 9 times more valuable. insiders believe, down to 15 trillion. Then some readers their eyeballs will bounce back up to the top and read what's called the eyebrow, where it says America's #1 Silicon Valley insider reveals. So let's talk about a little bit of copy hack here. The $15 trillion gadget has a little bit of incongruity in there. And what that does is it kind of gets you thinking, okay, how is a gadget worth 15 trillion? And you don't consciously go, I wonder about this 15. It just kind of gives you like a weird curiosity spike that makes you wonder what's the next line going to say. So this one tells you it's more valuable. So this is hype, right? And then it says insiders believe the world's fastest growing startup will use this tech. What tech? Okay, a little more curiosity there. To make a lot of people rich. I would like to be rich. As it dominates a secretive, there's some intrigue, tech revolution set to reach 15 trillion. So that's huge. So we've got new and big and only. So we got our big four emotions that I preach in my book and on the channel. New, easy, safe, and big. And the alter ego of new is only, exclusivity. So we've already got some secret information in here. So that goes to only. Now easy and anybody. Those two are a little more difficult with this one because it's a prediction. This isn't a system. But safe and predictable, we'll go through that in the body copy. And then big and fast, okay? So we see the bigness, and that is 15 trillion. Does it say how fast it's going to happen in the headline? No. But one of the other things, okay, so another element of safety is credibility. So when you naturally read, you're going to see the big thing, the big new thing first, which is good. This is how you should do it. Your eyeballs are going to scroll down, come down here, and then you'll bounce back up here. So if you've watched one of my breakdowns, does this have the markup? Here, let's look at this really quick. Okay. Oh, we got some. Let me move my Facebook thing out of here, and I can look at comments on the side. What's up, lads? What's up, Jack? Okay, so here you can see, should be able to see this. This is the markup for We Snuck Through. So one of the things is very early. I got this from Clayton Makepeace. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his first 4 steps on his 20-point bullet checklist. Blow that up for you. But yeah, one of the things you want to do early, grab the eyeballs, expand on your headline, establish credibility, and then bribe them to read it. So where is the thing we were just looking at? Is it this one? Okay, so we grab by the eyeballs, we expand upon the headline, and then the credibility actually comes up here, America's #1 Silicon Valley insider. But this is the natural progression that most eyeballs will follow. So it kind of almost goes in order if you look at it like that. Cool little copy, Jedi trick. So there's a little idea for you. So that's the headline. The next thing, the lead. Let's talk about the lead. Okay, so here's my lead. The lead opens with this one. See this little thing I'm holding in my hand? Pattern interrupt. Basically, this focuses attention, all right? So cool, you've got my interest here from the headline, moving into the lead. Okay, now you have my attention. What is that thing in your hand? Okay, you kind of squinting a little bit. Might not seem like much, but the tech inside this itty bitty device about to make a lot of people rich. Get right to it, right? You kind of the lead. The purpose of the lead is to hype. Get them excited. Get them ready to go. And I'm gonna get into the question was how long does it take to write a sales letter? I'll get into that too in a little bit, but I feel like if I just kind of give you like this general overview first, I think that'll be more useful for like the general population. It'd be really easy just to say it takes me like a month and a half to write a sales letter. But I'll explain what goes into it first, and then I'll come back and I'll explain how it got put together. So we'll do it like that, and hope that works for you guys and you find that useful. Let's see. So might not seem like much. I'm starting this incredible scramble, right? Big. Everybody's jumping in. What do they know that you don't? Why the mad dash? Do we say 15 trillion down here yet? Where's it at? Okay. There's 15 trillion good reasons, trillion with a T, enough cash to mint 15 million new millionaires. So basically, our big promise, which I'm kind of looking at now, I know this, we just say it's going to make a lot of people rich. It's not as clear cut as I would write today. Like, I wrote this a year ago, right? So this is kind of old, it's been running for a while. But I think I would have made a much more clear-cut big promise in here and in the lead early on. I say like the first 4 lines, you should make your big promise and say, hey, you're going to get rich off of this opportunity. So we've kind of said that in the headline. So then there's 15 trillion with the T, make 15 million new millionaires. So this is kind of like our big promise. So the point of the lead, which is part number 2 here, right? Headline, then you get into the lead, is to bring that hype. I've never seen anything like what is coming. So there's Amazon, here's how big this thing is. So basically we're just hyping up like the size and the scope of this. Okay, that factors into the big and fast. This is coming. Get ready. All revolutions combined. Google, Amazon, Facebook, this new one. Wow, look how much bigger that is, right? So this is all hype. Here's some secret knowledge. And then this is kind of like our gimmick. There's one private startup dead center of it all. So in this, we've hyped up. Now, let's kind of look at what's happening in the lead. There's a thing coming to make 15 trillion bucks. Look how much bigger it is than Amazon. Oh, even bigger than all the big things. It's happening at a secret place. One company. So this is your opportunity. You can get rich off this private startup. Okay, we're still in the lead. Quite possibly the fastest growing company ever. So we're just hyping. We're just hyping it up. It's a secret thing. Nobody knows about it. You got to act fast. Other people are getting rich. Okay, and then here's where the lead ends. It says, how do I know that? Because I'm one of the insiders. I'm James Altucher. Okay, so this is what I call the guru credibility section. And a credibility section is where we're just basically going to be like, hey, man, I am a credible source. You should listen to me. Here's me and all my Rolodex of really important people. Peter Thiel, Mark Cuban. All this kind of stuff is very important to establish that our man, James Altucher here, knows what he's talking about. He is a reputable resource who can help you make money because he knows very important people, and he has that kind of Rolodex that these people can help you get really important knowledge and information and perspective that can make you very rich. So again, this is where the lead will transition out of the lead and into what I call the credibility sections when you start introducing your guru. Notice we're on like page 5 here, so here's page 4, so page 5. And then, so here's like a prediction where James made a big prediction and it came true again, establishing that credibility. Okay, now, the next part will be, that's the end of the lead. And you could say credibility section here if you want. It's almost kind of part of the credibility section. So let's just put cred section. Cred section was not in my original outline in my brain. Next part, body copy. Cred section is kind of part of the body copy. So we'll do this. How about this? I like this better. Let's do body copy here. And this is going to be the only part of the body copy I'll establish. Like this is almost non-negotiable. You need the credibility section. So that's how you know the body copy has begun. Now, we talked about it yesterday, was the only template that I think is worth a damn for copywriting is the body copy formula. I don't like to call it a template. I like to call it a formula. It's objection, claim, proof, benefit. And I go over that that's all yesterday's video was about. So throughout the entire body copy, from basically page 7 until we make our offer, and the offer comes about 15% left of the letter, so it could be like somewhere around, it could be anywhere from 75% through to 85% through. I think, you know what, let's say the last 30% of the letter is the offer section. How about that? Okay, so for the body copy, all you're going to see is kind of over and over and over again, objection, claim, proof, benefit, objection, claim, proof, benefit. That's kind of how the whole body is going to go until you get to the point where they make the pitch for the offer. All right. Where's this offer here? All right. So the offer kind of starts here is when he starts talking about, I'll reveal it in this pre-IPO prospectus. So this is kind of like your report, get them to get this report. And what we're really selling here is a newsletter, right? So I reveal the strategy in the pre-IPO prospectus, which is our, basically it reveals exactly what we've been talking about this whole sales letter. It reveals the secret knowledge, okay? And then everything you need is in here. So now we're talking offer section. We're on page 17 of 26. All right, so 65% of the way through. So everything from here on is basically offer section. What we're trying to get them to do is sign up for our newsletter. We're not really selling the pre-IPO prospectus. As a matter of fact, we're giving it away for free. I'm pretty sure we see the word free in here. Did I overlook it? Oh, there it is. And the best part is completely free. So now we're in what we call the offer section. Offer section, and that'll be like, hell, you could probably say 40 let's say last 30% of letter. Okay. Approximately last 30% of letter. Okay, cool. And in this part, we're going to introduce the report, right? We're going to give them the thing that they want. We've been telling you about this secret place, this $15 trillion gadget, this $15 trillion opportunity. Now we're going to tell you how to get it in this report. Then we'll begin the offer. During the offer, you'll basically hype up and sell that report, and then we'll say all you got to do to get this free report, you can get started today with your free pre-IPO prospectus. I publish a monthly income and opportunity research publication called the Untitled Chapter Report. All right, so basically this allows you the opportunity to get that report if you join his monthly research publication, the Untitled Chapter Report. That's going to be in your offer section there. So let's see. That's going to be it. And I guess one last thing, you could maybe call this the last part, call it a close, which is like the last couple. Now in the, I'll say a couple more things real quick. Offer section, you need to kind of give them a couple things. In the offer section, you need to intro your report, intro that service, because what we're trying to do is we want them to get on the service, we want them to join our membership, not actually get the report. The report's kind of a bonus to lure them into the membership. So intro the report, intro that service, and then you also want to basically, you want to really hype up that credibility and offer them, like right here we do testimonials. Testimonials always come at the end. Don't jump on testimonials too early. You want to do that usually towards the end with the introduction of your service and report. You spend most of the letter just building up the hype about your idea and then proving and overcoming objections using the objection, claim, proof, benefit formula. Moving along. I go over all this stuff in way more depth on in the book, Take Their Money at kylethewriter.com/book. Then you also add bonuses. So bonuses in here. This is all very, very like template. Like this is like by the book kind of copywriting, because this is one of my earlier sales letters when I was just I just knew the basics. So here's the recap section. This is a fam shot. They call it a fam shot. It's got everything in there. Guarantee goes in the offer section. Let me know. And then here's kind of the close, right? The close is like this last page where they're like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And you re-summarize like everything. And then you're like, hey, you got to get in now because we got scarcity, urgency, whatever that may be for your offer. Bam, bing, bang, boom. Okay, cool. So how long does it take to write a sales letter was the question I got on YouTube. Let me see if I got any comments. Let's see. I do have some comments. Jack Johnston says, would you drop cred section always after the lead? Yes and no. I don't like the word always. I would say generally for a front end. So for a front end, no one cares about your guru. A front end is a offer that you're putting out to the world for basically cold traffic. This is a front end promotion, meaning we used to run this on like Facebook or something, right? And someone who's never heard of us, never heard of James, would come in and we would say, hey man, we've got this opportunity for you, check it out. If you lead the letter with James, a guy they don't know or care about at this time, then they're not going to be interested in your idea because they'll bounce beforehand. Don't start off talking about you, start off talking about them. So with a front end, you definitely want to start with the big idea and move your guy just to that point. Like sell them on the opportunity, which is what the lead does, hypes it up so big. But then when they get to that point, like, why are you telling me this? Who the hell are you? That's when you start the credibility section. I'll tell you a quick anecdote, total tangent. I'm famous for tangents and like jumping off topic. Something that bugs me on Twitter is what doesn't bug me on Twitter? I hate Twitter. I know I'm gonna have to conquer Twitter though, because there's so much copywriting space. Like there's so many people selling copywriting stuff. I'm like the only person not selling on Twitter a copywriting course. But one of the things that bugs me on Twitter is when someone feels way too Twitter famous to explain themselves to a new follower. Like if someone comes into their funnel and they've already got 1,000 followers and the guy's like, okay, what's like, they believe everyone on Twitter is already indoctrinated into their message. And they think that everybody already knows who they are because they've got like a blue check mark or something beside their name. But chances are, even folks like James Altucher, who like changed my life with his book Choose Yourself. Like that was like a big game changer before I ever even knew what Agora Financial was. Like that dude, I thought the world of James, right? And then it turns out I've been working at Agora for a year, and James is actually one of our like partners. He's one of our gurus, works with us. And I'm surprised by how many people do not know who James Altucher is. And I'm like, how do you not know who this guy is? He's like so huge in like the entrepreneur space. So I say that to say, like, when I see people on Twitter who are like, I'm not going to explain myself to you, or I'm not going to tell you my credentials, or I don't have to tell you why I believe this. I have 3,000 followers. Dude, it will shock you how big the world is and how little most people are and how little their circle actually is. Like, you kind of, like, credibility is important, man. There's so many people who will be coming into your funnel. Like, I want to hammer that home. Like, that's something I've learned, like, just watching. And I want to make sure that as I grow larger, that I don't ever become that guy either. I kind of want to make sure that I try to treat everybody as if I'm still a nobody and it's like a brand new funnel and like they just heard of me for the first time. And I think that'll take you a lot further. And I'm realizing that from working at Agora Financial, that people you would think would be household names, everybody would just believe, a lot of times they haven't even heard of that person, right? So just a weird tangent that I noticed from Twitter. But I saw some people were just like, you don't know who I am? Like, bro, you've got like a couple thousand followers, man. You're Twitter famous. I don't know if you've ever encountered that before. But anyway, so I got way off topic. But yeah, for a front end, that's an ad running to cold traffic. Even if your dude's super famous, chances are a lot of people don't know who he is, and you need to tell them why they should listen to you and why you've been giving them this big opportunity. So, but all right, all that being said, the back end is totally different. The back end is people will be indoctrinated into your message. The way they usually get to your back end, your more expensive product. Like, say for instance, all right, let's use me. I don't want to use too much Agora examples. Let's say I'm selling a book for $12. Take their money at kylethewriter.com/book. But I'm working on this copywriting course, like what I'm going to call like the last copywriting course you'll ever need, where I'm going to show you me writing a sales letter, and I'm going to sell that for $2,000. The people who are going to like come into that back end service are already indoctrinated into my message. They know who I am. They trust me. I've built that relationship with them. The point of the funnel, all right? So you start with cold traffic. You get them into the funnel. You use the front end to get them into like a cheap offer, say a $49 newsletter, and then you build the relationship there and you say, oh, if you like this service, by the way, I've got a $2,000 newsletter that will actually show you exactly how I trade, or what trades I think are best in the market. You gotta be very careful with that language, but it's basically like, here's the trends and topics that I think are very interesting, and here's a bunch of research on certain stocks and stuff like that. On the back end products, I've seen Paul Mampilli at Banyan Hill. I believe that's I got the name and the company right. I get them confused sometimes. I'm pretty sure it's Paul Mampilli at Banyan Hill. Paul Mampilli has a massive, amazing, incredible track record and history. They lead on their back end promos with a massive amount of credibility, like right out the gate. You know Paul. You've probably been in his front end product and built that relationship, and you trust this dude. Oh, by the way, he's used all this information and knowledge to amass this incredible wealth, get all this recognition and accolades. By the way, he's got this new service coming. Whenever you've got a back end product, that credibility and that relationship usually comes much earlier. In some instances, it can come up front, and in other times, it kind of goes like the front end. So that's a tough question. It's like I hate that, dude. I don't want to say always. Dude. It matters who your guru is. It matters. That's what I should have said. That's what I should have said instead of rambling for 10 hours. It matters who your guru is, what their relationship with their customers are, what kind of products you're selling. All those things matter. Someone asked me yesterday, I think on YouTube, like, I'm cold calling. Should I email? Like, dude, I don't know what you're selling, how much it costs, what the funnel looks like. There's so much that goes into this. It's a very, very difficult question to answer. Hope I gave you some insight with all that rambling. Joseph says, why so many pages though? Okay, great question. The reason it's so many pages is very specifically, I said the lead, okay, we're talking about the lead, right? Where we're just talking about how hyped this is. Let's see. Where are we going? We're going all the way back to the top. Woo! Where are we at? I gotta share my screen too, don't I? Okay, cool. So the lead, we said, the lead is from basically here at the top, and you don't really need to read this, all the way down to like page 5. That's the lead. And all that's doing is basically telling you, wow, you can make so much money with this. This is so huge. It's so fast. It's incredible. Okay? Right before the part where we get to this credibility section, and this I'm answering my man Joseph here. Right before we get to this credibility section, we've told you like everything you need to know, that this is going to be amazing and huge and it's going to change your life forever. But you might still have some reservations. And that's why a sales letter becomes so long. I have to think about, okay, I'll give you a real world example with like a story that you maybe be easy to wrap your head around, and I'll give you like a data driven one. I have to first consider every single objection that every single person might have when they reach the end of the lead. When they reach this point in the letter right here, and I start talking about why you should listen to me or listen to James, when I reach this point, I have to think, what could anybody possibly think to say no? And then you have to go down the line and answer every single one of those things until you've covered all of them. And whenever you're considering the vast majority of the very skeptical world, it can take a long time to cover all those objections. Now, my story was I used to be in phone sales, 5 years ago now? Man, lifetime ago. And one day, and I was pretty good at sales, and I was really good at just basically like, I'll ask the caller like 3 or 4 main questions. Whatever those questions, whatever their answers were, I would just repeat it back to them and be like, okay, this is what you want because you said this, this, and this. I think this is perfect for you. You're ready to go. Let's get you signed up. Give me your social security number and your credit card number. And that would work very well for me, except when it didn't. And when it didn't work, I was pretty quick to frustration. And one day I had a sales coach pull me aside and explain to me that there are 2 types of people. There are buyers who kind of just know what they want, and they just want something easy, and they just want something fast, and they just want you to just tell them what to do and be done with it. He said, Kyle, you close the hell out of those guys. Like, you ask them exactly what they want, and then you tell them you're going to give them exactly what they want. He said, the people that you struggle with, Kyle, are the people who are like, but wait a minute. He said, I can tell you get very angry when someone says, but wait a minute. And it's because I was really used to that fast pace, like close. And I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to make a ton of sales. And when people would be like, but wait a minute. And then they just go through objection after objection after objection until I would be like, look, are you going to buy or not, bro? I got sales to make. Bad news bears, dude. That was a younger Kyle, a lot less patient. And the reason the sales letters are so long are because there are a lot of those analytical types of people who want to have they want to logically justify their decision. So the lead's purpose is to get you emotionally aroused and ready to buy. The rest, the other 26 pages, are to get your logical brain to say, okay, I'll accept this. And there's a lot of people who are leaning yes, they're already bought into the idea, but they will absolutely not allow themselves to buy unless that one question that they had in the back of their head can be logically answered. And then once you cross that off their list, they will buy. And the problem is, you're talking to the entire world. So you need to write a really long letter to get across all of that stuff. All right, so I hope that helped, Joe. All right, let's see. What was next? Jack says, I think the more objections there can determine the size of the copy. Yes, exactly, Jack. That's why back ends, like this promo is a front end, 26 pages. Back ends can be up to 60 pages because those are $2,000 products, and you gotta be able to overcome every objection and very detailed. All right, cool. So Saad says, hey Kyle, does headline, lead, body, close structure apply to all forms of copy or just sales letter? Dude, everybody. You could even say it does for phone calls too. Maybe the lead is a little bit maybe. I don't know. It's tough. Basically, it comes back to that attention, interest, decision, action kind of follows that, doesn't it? Maybe for phone sales, it'd be the same thing. Hey, can I get 3 seconds of your time so I can tell you about a way that you can reduce your phone bill by $45? Okay, you got my attention. I'm a little bit interested. So, the question is, Does the headline, lead, body, close structure apply to all forms of copy? Again, I don't like this word all. I don't like the word always. I don't like this word all. Because it depends on your offer. It depends who you're talking to. It depends on the service that you're doing. Like, does it make sense? Does it lend itself? I think you can sell virtually most everything. You can sell a lot of things with a traditional sales letter. Joe's just subscribed to my newsletter. Awesome, Joe. Joe never understood why so many pages. Leave this on your Facebook page. I want to study this. Okay, so Joe, what I'll recommend, you said you just subscribed to the newsletter. Look for this letter should be under my take their money. It's all broken down into files. So go to the file that says take their money samples, I think is what it's called. And it should have all the sales letters that I refer to in my book, Take Their Money. And I break all these letters down in that. I break different parts of these letters down inside that book. So if you want like you want to see it be broken down and me explain it, you can check out my book, Take Their Money, at kylethewriter.com/book. Tony says, James is like the only guru I know at Agora. Some people will have a lot of objections and questions they want to throw at you. The letter should be as long as it needs to be to handle objections and get the sale. Exactly. Joe says, boom, it makes so much sense. Thanks, dude. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's helping each other out here in the comments. That's cool. Look, we're building a community over here, guys. You see, we're changing the game. We've got people helping people, and I'm kind of proud to see that. That's really cool, man. I've got my dudes in here, my regulars. I've got new guys coming in, and everybody's helping each other out. Joe says, he says, I'm new, but I like you. You're humble. I'll try to stay humble as possible. I do think it comes with experience. And again, I don't consider myself humble. I think I could consider myself a little more aware. Like, I understand now, and I don't make mistakes that I probably made in my 20s. I'm 30 now, and I know that when I was on the phones, I was very impatient. And I've seen it, like the stuff that I mentioned on Twitter. I'll see gurus like lash out at people who want to follow them, but I'm too important to answer your questions, kind of like. I've seen a dude like cuss a dude out because the guy said, the guy said, ask me anything, and the guy said, well, why should I listen to you? And the dude like cussed him out. Like, just tell him why, say, hey man, I've been in the game for 6 years. I've sold this many books. Just do your credibility spiel, man. If anything, it's free advertising. Like, that blew my mind. I think that's like something I've gotten to see from my experiences working at bigger companies, and also like kind of quietly lurking and watching the social media world. I've tried to stay out of it, but I think I'm gonna have to jump in if I want to sell more stuff, because that's where all the customers are. They're on Twitter. So yeah, they're selling a lot of copywriting stuff on Twitter. I've seen it. All right, let me see if I got any more questions. All right. I don't think I got anything new coming in here. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. This is 33 minutes. This is a long one. I hope this was useful. I'm going to show my screen one more time and kind of recap. So, you know what? I never answered the original question. How long does this take me? This takes me about a month and a half, I'd say. And that's because I spend probably, so if we'll use the format of the copy as an example. You've got headline, lead, body, cred, offer. Okay, so all of this section is about 70% of the letter, and then the offer and close is like, well, the offer section and plus close. So we'll say 4.1, right? This is the last 30%. This is how you write a sales letter. This section is actually research. The first 70% of the month and a half it took me to write was research, and that actually leads me into what I'm trying to build now. So people think that it comes from here. People think I'm smart, or I'm clever, or I'm a good writer, or something like that. Basically, when they say stuff like that, it's like, oh, I can't do that. Only you can do it because you have more knowledge, or you have natural talent, or you have this, you have that. No, dude, I do the research, and that's kind of what the project I'm making now. I don't know what I'm gonna call it right now. I'm just calling it the last copywriting course you'll ever need. As I'm writing a full-fledged sales letter for my book, Take Their Money, I'm not using any knowledge from here or I'm not really, I will use some stuff from the book, but I don't want to tell you what's in the book. I want to sell you the book. And when you're selling the book, when you're selling the research report, I'm selling you the pre-IPO prospectus and the sales letter, right? I don't tell you what's in the sales letter, or I don't tell you what's in the report. I don't tell you what's in the report, or you wouldn't get the report. I sell you the report. Does that make sense? So I don't sit here and just tell you what's in the book. I sell you the book. That's something that's like a paradigm shift that most people need to go through. It's not in the book, and it's not in my head. I'm selling you the book based on research of the rest of the world that supports my claims that, getting yourself immersed in a language is the best way to learn, and copywriting is a language, and that new, easy, safe, and big are explosive and powerful sales triggers that cause people to buy things. I need to find research and numbers and statistics and evidence that support that. And then I need to do my own research. Like I unearthed that I made 7.1 million in 1 year. I had to go find that because I needed hard evidence to put in my credibility section of my sales letter to say, hey, you should listen to me because I made over $7 million bucks. I grossed for Agora. I didn't earn it. It wasn't my income. I made $7.1 million in sales for Agora in a year. So I needed to go find that. And I had to ask the accountant, like, can you print my entire report of all the sales for my front ends and back ends? And what does that gross out to? And I got that number. Again, I had to go out and do a little bit of research, a little bit of digging, because it's not, you don't sit down and think up a sales letter. You research it. You research it. And when I build this project that I'm working on, my back end project, my back end product, when that goes out, you'll see that how long it takes. If it takes me a month and a half, well, I probably spent the first month just doing the research, writing drafts. And that's another thing I want to show you is I'm becoming one of those guys that writes and researches simultaneously. I write a bunch of stuff. I know now what section comes next, and I can basically write a skeleton and be like, okay, I see here that I need to go find proof for this. I need to go find proof for that. I need to do research on this. And then I'll go do it, and then I'll insert it. Because I kind of have now, with the experience that I've got, I know how to build a sales letter now. I know the template, right? And I kind of just showed you that here, because this is kind of the sales letter format that you see pretty much ubiquitously in this industry that we're in, okay? So, again, I've rambled even further. Let's see. Jack says, buy the book, Joseph, and here is a tip. Buy or get lots of colored pens. You'll need them. Yeah, thanks, Jack, for supporting the book, brother. Appreciate it. So that's all I got. I'm waiting for any more comments. I don't see more questions. But yeah, the book is at the book is at kylethewriter.com/book. It will teach you the language of copywriting. It'll also show you how I break down these promotions and how you can use the language of copywriting to help multiply your own sales and write words that really make you rich. Thanks so much for tuning in today, Copy Squad. I hope you found this very informative. Peace out, Copy Squad.